Broadcasting from the heart of downtown Hollywood, this is SoFloRadio.com.
You are now listening to The Frank Fernandez Show. You can call the show 954-990-0036. You can reach the show on Twitter at FrankTheTank305. Welcome to the Asylum. It's now time for The Frank Fernandez Show on SoFloRadio.com. Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com. I almost blasted my own ears out of the sockets. I feel like I haven't been in the studio in like about a week and a half. It's actually been about a week. But it's Wednesday, first of the month, October 1st, 2014. Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com. You know what day it is?
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Hump day!
And I'm joined here by my boy, David Miles, and we call this place the Asylum. So before I let him say what's up, remember, one man, four walls, welcome to the Asylum. Oh, wait, hold on, we named it something else right now, right? We said the Crazies at the Asylum. Sorry about that, bro. I was used to saying that.
No, it's fitting. I think the Crazies is
It's the Crazies. It's settled in, right?
Yeah, especially when you call it a place the Asylum.
Well, I mean, that's how I felt about this place when I was by myself, David. I mean, you know how it is. I have a conversation with you now, so it's a little different. But just imagine sitting in this room by yourself. We also add to someone else. So if you guys are watching on Ustream, you see another body sitting here, throwing up the deuces is Ivan. We call him the Minion.
The quiet minion.
He's still scared on the mic, so we'll see what we do about that. He bought headphones, so it looks like he's a step closer.
All professional.
The headphones are nice. They got you all over them. They're Soul Republic headphones. Look at that. Free advertising for Soul Republic. Pretty dope. I like my Beats, so I'm going to stay with my Beats.
And I'm sporting the 1980s version of somebody's used headphones.
It is what it is, bro. 954-990-0036. If you want to hit us up, go ahead and call the show. We already have a phone call in here, so even before I even say anything, I'm going to go ahead and get him on. I got to find the right button, and as soon as I find the button, we can do it.
Little rusty. Huh?
There we go. Who's knocking on my padded room door? Caller. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, man? It's Laz.
What's up, Laz? How you doing, bro? Look at that. Right off the bat, the leadoff hitter right here, Laz on the Frank Fernandez Show.
Well, I would at least like to bat fifth.
What was that?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back on the air. It's been about a week since I haven't been on, and we're going to talk baseball, Canes, Dolphins. We're going to get a lot in an hour today, so what you got?
What a game last night, bro, huh?
That's what I'm talking about, man. It's you know what? That's probably one of the best sports postseason-wise, and that's the reason for it right there. Look at the way one team was out of it, down by 4. And I'm going to let you finish, but like you were saying, Kansas City getting right back into the ballgame and ultimately winning at the end.
Let me tell you something, and it's the way they won. I mean, they basically did everything they could have done in the last 3 innings to lose the game. And then they come off and win it walk-off like that. I mean, and I agree with you, man. Major League Baseball, hands down, has the best playoffs in sports. And it's not even close.
No, I agree with you 100%. The game changes. I think that's the one sport that the game in the regular season is in the same game in the postseason. And I'm not talking about what you're watching, but I'm talking about the strategy behind the game. You see a lot more over-managing happening in the playoffs. But the game totally changes. Not as much runs are scored. Pitching is better. All the games are stepped up a notch. And we saw it last night between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, you know, it comes down to who wants it more in these games. You know, they went 12, and you know, for the last 4 innings, you really couldn't tell who wanted the game more. you know, and to see it in like that, bro, that's like top tier, best game of the year in baseball for me. And being a Yankee fan this year, that wasn't too hard to top because my season stunk.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had the whole Derek Jeter parade phenomenon nonsense. I mean, he deserved it, but it was a little much on that part. But you know what? It's sad to see a player like that go. What's nice about
the him go with no playoffs.
No, it is sad to see him go with no playoffs, but I mean, at the end of the day, Girardi held Jeter in the lineup way too long. I understand you have to let him play, but his numbers were all decreasing, and he didn't deserve to be on the top of the lineup. Regardless whether it was his last season or not, you can't do the captain like that, quote unquote, like everybody was saying.
I think Girardi and Cashman have let the team get too old. You know, the team needs a complete overhaul. I mean, there's some bright spots. They're the Yankees, and you know they got a big bag of money. But I think it's on Cashman. He's responsible for stocking and giving Girardi the pieces to work with, and then Girardi hasn't been great at making it work with the pieces he's had the last few years. I mean, I'm as a Yankee fan, you know, I've been ready for Cashman to cash out and go home. And you know what? I'm right at that point with Girardi also. You know, not a lot of my fellow Yankee fans agree, but I think we need a breath of fresh air in the lineup, in the dugout, and certainly in the front office. I mean, ever since the boss died and you know his kids took over, you know, it hasn't been the same Yankee organization.
No, it definitely hasn't been the same. You don't see the same kind of going after those certain players that you used to see from the Yankees before. A lot of it has to do on names, but a lot of the names that they're trying to pick up are names that are already washed up athletes that already are past their prime, and that's the mistake that I've seen from the Yankees lately. Laz, bro, I'm going to let you go because we got a couple more callers on the line. But before I let you go, man, have a safe trip. Represent the Canes fam and represent the U out there in Georgia Tech. I know you guys are going to have a great time. Going out on road trips with you guys is a blast. I'm kind of sad that I can't go this time around, but I know you guys will. I know I'll be there in spirit, so that's all good.
Man, you always are, bro, and you can't go for a good reason. And I wanted to congratulate you, which was the real meaning of me calling in, on becoming a recent homeowner.
Well, thank you.
You guys deserve it, and that's a great thing. It's a great feeling. Me and Maureen did it last year, and I just wanted to congratulate you and Jen on that. And, bro, I'm looking for the Canes to make it 6 in a row against Georgia Tech. Riley beat them the last 2 years here, and Al hasn't lost to them yet, and I don't believe we're going to start this Saturday either, man. Rec Tech. Go Canes, and that's what's up, man. Talk to you soon. Te quiero.
Awesome, Laz. Have a good time. Thank you for calling the show. That's Cutler Ridge Laz out there representing the Canes fam. And I'm glad he started talking about what I was going to start the show with, and that was playoff baseball.
That was
and
perfect.
It was like if I was scripted, and it wasn't scripted at all. So that was great. And I thank Laz for calling in the show. He's going to have a great time out there. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But bro, that was playoff baseball last night. Like the crowd was out of hand. The crowd, it was. We're getting a call back. Is this Laz again? Hello?
Oh, I'm trying to listen, bro.
Oh, you're trying to listen, Laz. But all right, I'm gonna get you back on the line because somebody's gonna be calling. You gotta just stay muted. All right. So anyway, so Laz is gonna be listening. That was weird. That was like behind the curtains there because we don't have multiple lines. So we're gonna go ahead back on the phone lines. I know who this is, but we're gonna welcome back on. We're gonna welcome him here on the show by knocking on that door. Who's knocking on that asylum door? I didn't even go. There you go. Whatever. What's up? What's up, man? We're getting touchy on the buttons here. Louis, what's up, bro? Thank you for calling the show.
No problem, man. No problem.
And the baseball talk is going to continue here. We've already started heavy on the baseball talk. Mentioned the game last night. The game last night was absolutely crazy. Like, that's playoff baseball right there. Like, you see a team going down. They do everything in their power, using their strengths on the field in order to get back into the game. And that's a very fast Kansas City team that we saw last night. And they play small ball, and they used it to the best of their abilities. They got hits, they stole bases, and the rest was history.
Yeah, it looked like a track meet out there. And you know what? I grew up watching that style of baseball. I love that they played baseball. You know, it wasn't station to station, and they didn't get out of their game. That's why they won the game. They stay within themselves, with their identity. You know, they steal bases. That's how they get it done, and they got it done.
For a lot of talk that much of the media was saying that Oakland can't score runs, and it's not talk because the facts are there. They've been probably the worst team in baseball since the All-Star break, especially since that horrible trade that we'll talk about later on in the segment. But they were saying that Oakland can't score runs. Oakland scored, what was it, 8 runs yesterday. So they were able to score. They were able to score the runs. But it's amazing how Kansas City, that's not a team that hits home runs and gets back into ball games by scoring runs in chunks, were able to get back from that deficit and win the game.
Yeah, I mean that just goes to show you that that how resilient that team is. And Oakland, they scored runs. Their bullpen let them down, and Kansas City was a better team that day. Kansas City was a better team that day. Yesterday, it was a hell of a game. I loved it. I stayed up till 1 a.m. watching it. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was why did Adam Dunn not get an at-bat? I mean, you traded for him, you got him, when you had runners on base, put him in there. Maybe he hits a 3-1 home run. That's what you go by. You got the guy to do it. He has over 400 home runs in his major league career, and this was his first playoff game ever, and they didn't put him in. I think that's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw that's the issue with the playoffs though in baseball, because usually the manager doesn't make much of a difference in the regular season. I mean, the manager really accounts for maybe like 2% of the actual victories or the actual games in the season, because at the end of the day, baseball is not that kind of decision-making sport like that. It's really all about what happens on the field, not who's on the field. But this is the issue now, since the game changes and it's a lot more strategy involved in the postseason. You see coaches want to overmanage and undermanage. Right there, that's a situation that he's trying to overmanage, because he's saying, you know what, we're going to save you for later on in the playoffs, when in these wild card playoff games, you're supposed to win right now. That's the reason why we saw Oakland put out Lester yesterday, and that's the reason, well, Kershaw's not in the thing, but that's the reason why we're going to see the two aces today for the Giants. We're going to see Linson come, and we're going to see, I can't remember right now who the ace is for the Pirates, but we're going to see those two big boys pitch, because at the end of the day, you need to win this game in order to make it on later for the playoffs. Oakland has made a lot of bad decision-making, and especially in the second half of the game. Yeah,
I mean, Oakland kicked themselves out of the playoffs when they traded Cespedes.
Absolutely.
I mean, they were done, and we had this conversation before. They were done then. Lester did his job. In my point of view, Lester did his job. The bullpen just couldn't hold it. I mean, you need to make the plays. You need to keep those people off of the bases. I mean, they're down by 4 runs. They're stealing bases because, again, they stayed within themselves. They played their game.
And throughout the broadcast, I was hearing how Lester kind of had to change his delivery, because Lester's not very quick going over to first. He had no pickoffs throughout the whole entire 2014 season, and the Kansas City Royals knew that their speed was going to bother Lester, so they took advantage of it. Yeah,
I mean, it was so they had their speed on their mind, so that they started Giovanni Soto. Giovanni Soto started the game catching, and then he got hurt when Hosmer slid into him and he jammed his thumb. But nobody's ever gonna say it, but that had to do something, because Soto was a better thrower than Norris. I mean, they didn't throw anyone out. Now with Soto in the game, maybe it's a different ballgame. Maybe he throws one guy out, so then maybe they don't run as much. It's. And I told you before, there's so many things were going on in this game that, wow, and if you don't know, you're just watching a baseball game. But there were so many things. And going back to what you said about the managers, and I told you, like I said before again, Ned Yost almost cost the game several times. I mean, I wouldn't have taken out Shields. He had only thrown 88 pitches. He was in a groove. He just walked the guy, Things happen. And there was one pitch that he just missed. He just missed, and then there was a man on first and second, and then boom, there comes Moss, and he hits a bomb off of the guy throwing 120 miles an hour.
Right, and the guy that came out of the dugout didn't even come out of the bullpen.
Exactly. He's a starter. If you're gonna take James Shields out, put him in for a reliever, someone that's been in that role the whole year. Again, that's him trying to overmanage. And then he almost did it again when he took out, it was when Oakland scored the 8th run, he had this 21-year-old rookie who was pitching in the College World Series, but he threw 3 lights-out innings. He walked the guy, then he pulls him. Then the other guy comes in, they get a hit, boom, they scored the go-ahead run, and that's when they had a rally again. So Ned Yost, he almost cost his team the game trying to overmanage. Like, you have to go with your bread and butter. That's what got you there.
You're so cliche.
That's what got you there. And James Shields, he's big game James Shields, and you're gonna take the ball from him after 88 pitches. This guy's been your workhorse. He's your workhorse. You ride him. Just he gave up a bomb earlier. You know what? You put this other guy in, he gave up a bomb anyways.
3 pitches later.
But,
Yeah, immediately.
3 pitches later. Hey, Lewis, bro, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for calling the show. Who do you got, real quick, who do you got tonight? San Francisco or Pittsburgh?
Man, I told you I got Pittsburgh, and I'm sorry to correct you, but the ace is not Lincecum, it's Bumgarner. Lincecum is not in the bullpen, and the Pirates are not throwing their ace because they have Liriano and Cole pitch. They're throwing Volk as their number 3, but he's in his last 10 starts, he's 5-0 with a subpar 2.0 ERA, and that's why he's in there. I'm going with the home team. I'm going for the Pirates, black and gold.
That's why you're my baseball dude, brother. Thanks for throwing me under the bus right there. That was shot after shot after shot. I couldn't even get off the ropes, bro. You're just swinging them haymakers.
All right, man. Have a good one. Enjoy the game, man.
All right, man. That's Lewis, bro. Thanks for calling the show. Dude, the dude came with his facts. That's why I have him as my baseball dude. The dude knows what he's talking about when it comes around to baseball.
I just wanted to correct you. Make sure of that.
Yeah, make sure of that. Bro, look, not where I was expecting the show to start at all. Like, we got 2 callers back to back just like that, and great callers. I was surprised Laz couldn't even get in Kings talk, because that's what I thought Laz was going to talk about. So when he called, I'm like, damn, this dude called way too early. And then he just drops baseball up in the conversation. So I'm like, all right, cool. It is what it is,
Slam dunk.
954-990-0036. You can join in on this madness if you'd like. So we can move on from the baseball talk. The game was great yesterday, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game. And I'm going to rush my ass home so I can go watch tonight's game because yesterday's game was great. I fell asleep. I didn't even get to watch the end of the game, but I fell asleep. And, bro, the game started at 8:30 in the evening. I got to work in the morning, bro, and I fell asleep like in the 9th inning. I just passed out. I assumed that Oakland won, but they didn't. And I'm honest enough to say it on the air right here that I fell asleep. It is what it is. But bro, look, we saw the captain, El Capitan. If you're a Yankee fan, that's what you call him. I'm not a Yankee fan. I do respect this guy a lot because I think this is a great ball player, and he's always been about the fans, and he's always been real nice about the fans. So you got to respect him. But a little overkill on the Derek Jeter farewell tour, as I'd like to call it, or that's what they were calling it. Period. So thanks for everybody listening, T-Dog, Laz, all the Canes fam listening, and they always support me. But now this is starting to raise the conversation of who's going to be the new face of baseball. So they're saying, a lot of people are saying that Mike Trout's going to be the new face of baseball. He's young. He's a great kid. He's probably hands down the MVP of the AL this year. So this is going to be somebody that we're going to be talking a lot about, and probably is going to be the new face of baseball. When you talk baseball, usually you think Jeter. So, that's the face of baseball. But now it's going to be Trout.
I mean, you could have always thrown in Stanton for a couple of those conversations here and there. His name could be entered here and there. But, when you're talking American baseball, right now you have to go with the All-American boy, Michael Trout.
That's the thing, though. Like, I was listening to some radio shows earlier on, and I heard a great point. Like, Jeter wasn't the best player in baseball.
Nope.
He wasn't even the best player on his team at times.
Wasn't even the best shortstop.
The thing with Jeter is that he was on the Yankees, and while Jeter was on the Yankees, every single year they were in the playoffs, and every single year pretty much they were in the World Series. So it became one of those times that, like, as time went on, little by little, like, dude, this dude was on your TV from 2002 to 2006, year in and year out. So you kind of grew up with watching who Derek Jeter actually was. That's why he became the face of baseball. He was good. He was a good player. Derek Jeter's a Hall of Famer, hands down.
Oh, yeah, no.
But he wasn't even the best player on his team at
But the
times.
length of his career helps with his numbers at the same time. A lot of players were doing it in 15 years where Jeter's was doing it in 22, you know?
So, I mean, if Mike Trout wants to be the face of baseball, let's say he's going to have to start winning.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. You know, the people choose the next people.
Well, it's not really people choose Derek Jeter to be the face of baseball. You kind of just fall into that role as the face of baseball because nobody can be chosen to be, hey, you, Ivan is the new face of the Frank Fernandez show. It doesn't work that way. It just depends. Like, you can be the face of the show even though it's not your name, but if you overtake the main role of it, then eventually you become the face of the show. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
It's not up to Jeter. It's not up to Trout. It's not up to Stanton. It's not up to anybody. It's
up to the fans.
It's up to who the fans associate with baseball. And it's not going to be a poll. It's not going to be, who do you think of the face of baseball? Because not everybody's really voting. It's just the internet geeks, I guess, that are the ones that are going to be voting on that, and it's a little different. Correct or not?
Well,
Mike Trout's going to have to start winning. And look, the Angels are probably the favorites to go to the World Series this year.
You don't have to win because Derek Jeter and the Yankees organization hasn't been winning the past.
No, but they've been in the playoffs and they've been in the World Series. Like I said, look how, bro, from the age of Jeter that was about 22 till he was about 26, he was in the World Series every single year.
Oh, yeah.
So Derek Jeter grew up right in front of our eyes. So that's why Derek Jeter, you can consider him the face of baseball because right away you think baseball, you think Yankees, you think Jeter.
Think winner.
At least a current Yankees.
5 rings.
You think winner. I mean, realistically, you
Clutch,
do think
he comes through.
You think of the guy who was coming through with the big hits, the guy who was consistent throughout the whole World Series, every time he went, pretty much. You know, so yeah, he does kind of fall in that category because he was humble at the same time. He wasn't flamboyant about his money. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't constantly in the limelight, except for when he was dating another supermodel, which he was always dating supermodels. But you can't be mad at him for that.
We're going to go a little long on this segment. I'll cut it on the next one because we're going to have Steven Posada joining us in about 5 minutes here on SoFloRadio.com, 954-990-0036. I guess quickly, we got about 3-4 minutes. Do you like this new playoff format? Because I think it's fantastic.
I love it.
It's like a jump start to baseball's playoffs. I can have the argument whether you like the one game playoff system for the wild card because it all depends on who's going to be pitching that night because your pitcher can be on and that other team's going to have absolutely no shot, or the pitcher can be off and it's going to be a slobber knocker.
It could be a complete opposite. You know, you could have Kershaw up there and he pitches the worst game of his life.
But I do like, this is the part of it that I like. One, it's a great jump start. The game's absolutely exciting. Everybody's heart's on their throats. You know, managers make very gutsy calls because they're like, we were talking about it. They try to overmanage because it's all strategy. They want to make it to the next game. And at the same time, you also have to try to plan on how the rest of your playoffs are going to roll along. Right. So
but as a wild card, you can't anticipate that next game is even going to be there.
Of course. But this is the thing with that. It's awesome because now you make it an incentive to win your division. Because you win your division, you don't have to worry about that wild card game. You win your division, you move on to now the series. You move on to the 3-game series.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't win your division and you end up getting one of the best 2 records out of everybody else, so now you have a wild card. If you're the first, it ensures that one team that just missed it by 1 game to get into the wild card spot or to at least have an opportunity, and then it gives that team that made the wild card spot a reason to fight and prove themselves to actually be in the playoffs. So that's why I love it. I think it's great. Like, look, you see all those fans yesterday in Kansas City, like they were all like, oh my God, what are we going to do? You start seeing the rally caps come out in the 6th inning, and it's baseball, dude. It was exciting. Listen to the way the crowd reacted. And then when the Kansas City Royals came back into the game, like, the crowd was back into the game, and it was a whole new party. I was listening to it on the radio, and for a minute, I'm like, are those the Chiefs? Because it was just absolute crazy. I've never heard a baseball crowd that loud.
Well, it's the same fans, but...
So, Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com. First segment in the books. When we come back, we're going to have Steven Posada on the line talking Hurricanes football. And Hurricanes might be playing at Georgia Tech without one of their main starters. We'll find out who that is when we get back. Frank Fernandez Show on SoFloRadio.com. You're listening to The Asylum.
Broadcasting from the heart of downtown Hollywood. This is SoFloRadio.com.
Hey, South Florida. Frank Fernandez here from The Frank Fernandez Show, and I'm here to tell you about The Last Carrot in Coconut Grove. Now, I've been able to eat whatever I want all my life, and I've never had any consequences to think about. But now as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see the effects and the importance in having healthy foods. Well, the Last Carrot is the place to go for a healthy treat. They have a full smoothie bar with fruits which are cut right in front of your eyes. And have I said delicious? Man, I picked up a mango banana smoothie the other day, which was not only delicious, but refreshing with a boost of natural energy. The Last Carrot also offers a variety of fresh veggie sandwiches on whole wheat pitas, fresh salads, and spinach pies. The best part of it all, it's in the heart of the Grove. So after you have your meal, you can take a nice stroll and enjoy the shops of historic Coconut Grove. So come on down to the Last Carrot and don't forget to tell them Frank Fernandez sent you so you can receive that SoFlo Radio discount and have some good, healthy eating. The Last Carrot is located on 3133 Grand Avenue in Coconut Grove, Florida, 33133.
We asked this gentleman to participate in our radio taste test challenge. On one table, terrestrial radio. On the other, SoFloRadio.com. Do you have your blindfold on?
Yes.
Try a bite of this.
Oh, God, that's awful. Tastes like the soiled briefs of a lonely fat man.
You just had a taste of all sports and corporate-backed right-wing assassin talk radio. Now give this a try.
That's gotta be SoFloRadio.com. Entertaining, funny, informative. I love it. Can I have more?
SoFloRadio.com. A full plate of delicious entertainment.
Hi, this is George. You know, trying to get laid all day makes me hungry, so I go to Power Smoothie in Aventura and get the healthiest wraps and most delicious smoothies ever made. I mean, really, the smoothies are so insanely delicious, they're orgasmic. The staff is friendly there and cute. The food is healthy and real, not processed. This is not fast food, it's good food served fast. And they love me there. They even let me create my own smoothie, the Malted Jorge. Go in and ask for one. They're in the Promenade shops right off of US 1 in Aventura, or call them at 305-792-5338. You can also visit them online at powersmoothieaventura.com.
I am the voice of terrestrial radio. Internet radio will not succeed. You will continue listening to sports, right-wing talk, and mayonnaise FM. If you disobey, we will punish you with more right-wing talk, sports, and mayonnaise FM. We are corporate, ergo, we are never wrong. Listen and obey. Listen and obey.
Shut it down, evil foe, for I am SoFloRadio.com, and I'm here to give back what people want to hear. A variety of entertainment, fresh music, comedy, and different points of view.
I own you.
Oh, your fart-radiating suit and tie don't frighten me, old chum. Behold the power of SoFloRadio.com.
My balls are falling off.
You only had one, my evil friend. There. Now you'll have to squat to pee. SoFloRadio.com. Castrating terrestrial radio. One ball at a time.
Now, back to the Frank Fernandez Show.
Now, you guys mind telling me what you're doing with my little green pal over there?
On SoFloRadio.com.
Who the heck is that? Wayne Gretzky? On steroids?
So I guess that was a live version of the song. That's what you get. That's what happens when you don't research what you're putting on the air before you actually put it on the air.
I was going to say that's a very
that sounds like
interesting version.
That sounds like a virgin. No virgins listening to that crowd. No, not at all. That sounds like a version that when they're starting to play that song, all the blunts start lighting up around the stage at the same exact time, and all you see flying up is just a puff of smoke of that ganja.
Oh my goodness.
Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com.
I was still laughing at the fact that I heard Michelangelo in the background. Cowabunga.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Wake up. Oh.
Well, it's the first of the month. I kind of sung it earlier on, but so Frank Fernandez show live here on SoFloRadio.com 954-990-0036. It is Hump Day. I usually dedicate segment number 2 to my Canes fam as I do Hurricane talk. Oh my God, what's going on with my computer today? Like all my buttons are out of whack today.
Really just likes that song.
That's why I'm trying to train our minion over here to actually try to take my spot so I can actually concentrate on doing the show instead of trying to push so many freaking buttons at the same exact time. But you know what? I guess that happens. I'm like an octopus over here, but with two arms.
Think about it. When you have no buttons, what will you do?
I'll still have my buttons. I just won't have all the buttons. You're going to take my buttons away from me? You're going to take my buttons away from me?
Exactly.
No. Because if I didn't have buttons, then I couldn't do things like this. It's now time to talk Hurricane football on the Frank Fernandez Show with the Asylum's very own insider, Steven Posada. You see, if you take the buttons away from me, I can't push buttons like that, and then I can't tell you when Steven's going to come on the air. So we're going to welcome him on the air right now, Steven Posada. You can follow him on Twitter at Steven Posada. And he's my main dude when it comes to Hurricane football. He knows more than anybody I know right now on Hurricane football, both team-wise, introspectively, and everything like that. So we're welcoming on the air. Steven, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
What's going on, fellas?
Good, man. Everything good. We're here.
So Bone Thugs fails when I come on the air, but my intro plays. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool.
You see? I know you like that. You're a wrestling fan. You like when, fireworks go off, and then you get to walk down the ramp, and then go through the ring, and then all eyes on you, right?
Yeah, man. Ultimate Warrior. Theme music, all that good stuff.
Good deal, man. We're having a good time so far, talking a lot of baseball in the first segment. That's something that we really haven't talked about. Well, whenever we talk baseball on the show, we usually include the Marlins in the conversation. And to be honest with you, this is the first time that I say the word Marlins. So that was actually a good start. Had some good calls. But now it's time to talk Hurricane football. And it was nice to see what we saw on Saturday night against Duke. Miami ran the ball very well as they had a total of 426 yards in total, rushing-wise. They had 203 yards. Duke Johnson, 155 yards. First time he goes over 100 yards this season. No, second time, excuse me. No, wait, first, right? First time. First time this season, so woohoo, good job to him. But then I was teasing it earlier, so you might as well spill the beans, or you can update me on whatever's new that's come out on Duke Johnson. Because the last time I heard from you, he might not be playing against Georgia Tech on Saturday.
He will play. He is good to go, Coach Golden said, so we are all good on the Duke Johnson front.
All right, good deal with that. So, I mean, but we saw a lot of good things happen on Saturday night. We saw the Canes run the ball very well. We saw Brad Kaya do some great things. No interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 223 yards, went 20 for 34. So we saw some great things. On third down, we're still struggling on third down, unfortunately, because we went 2 for 13, and that still seems to raise an eyebrow around the offense. If we can pretty much get our third down efficiency up, the offense would pretty much be flawless, except for a couple other features that we'll talk about next.
Yeah, I think third down has a lot to do, ironically, with first and second down. It seems like they wait till third down to get their conversions instead of avoiding third down altogether. They need to do a lot better on first and second down to avoid third and longs.
We're seeing Brad.
They really, really just wait for third downs to happen, it seems like. I know it's not on purpose. It's just they don't really capitalize on first and second down.
We're seeing Brad Kaya make a lot of great decisions. We're seeing game by game he's gotten better and better. It's nice to finally see him not throw an interception. But you know what? As the road goes down the line, we're probably going to see a game that he throws 3 or 4 interceptions. So it all depends, obviously what's going on. He's been improving. So as a Hurricane fan, you're extremely enthusiastic about this, especially going into the future. Unfortunately, I'm going to agree with somebody that's sitting to my right, and this is the first time I'm going to say it. Miami's really incorporated the bubble screen a lot this year, and they haven't been able to produce much of it. So they're throwing a lot of those screens on first down, which are giving them long second downs. They're trying to get out of those second downs on runs, which leads them into the long third downs, and that's where you see the efficiency really low on third down conversions for the Canes.
Yeah, bubble screens should really only come on short yardage downs, mostly on second and short, not really even third and short. And it's one of those things where if James Coley keeps calling those on first down and getting the Canes behind the chains, it's really going to have to change because he
from my estimation, cost the Canes a touchdown on their first drive this weekend. I thought that bubble screen in the red zone was a horrific call, whether the wide receiver, who I think was Herb Waters, missed his block or not. Doesn't matter. It was an awful call, and just didn't like the lack of rhythm that came out of that drive.
He's been getting better. It's still a little struggling, but you brought this point up. Selfie King plays. He does his offensive coaching like if he's playing Madden. He plays it very scared, especially in the red zone. When the field shrinks, he tries to use those plays that you would use as later, like in the 30 and the 20, where the field's a lot bigger, so you can try to get more blocks downfield and open lanes to get those big plays on the screens. I don't know why he's trying to run reverses or screens when he's inside the red zone, because it's obviously that it hasn't been working much. Brad Kai has a nice arm. He's been hitting his spots, and he's getting better as time goes on. It's time to open up the playbook a little more instead of keep on running these screen plays, especially on first down. It's becoming a little predictable.
I don't really understand the rhyme or rhythm behind any of these things. It's really interesting that he goes through all these things. I would like to see him go straight ahead with a running attack or hit the tight ends over the middle. I think Clive has a touchdown in him this weekend if he does that. So I would like to see just threaten the end zone, threaten the goal line with a pass. He threw a ball that you and I talked about in the rain on 4th and 19 with a wet ball. It's a beautiful throw. If he can do that, he can throw it anywhere he wants as far as I'm concerned.
954-990-0036. Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com, presented by The Last Carrot in Coconut Grove. We're here with Steven Posada right now talking Hurricane football. Switching to the defensive side of the ball. Well, actually, you know what, real quick, Ivan just brought something up that I wanted to talk about. What's going on with the slump of Stacey Coley right now? Because we're seeing him drop a lot of passes. He's trying to get through his slump. That's the only way to get through a slump, is to actually try to work through it. But it's starting to get a little old here. It's looking like a sophomore slump for Stacey Coley.
Yeah, it's a mental slump right now. I don't care what Al Golden says about his shoulder, to be honest. He drops a wide open ball, as we all saw this past weekend, and he's a yard and a half in front of the corner, drops a wide open ball. This kid has the most talent in that wide receiver core, and he just can't catch the football right now. It's all in his head. I don't know if he needs an exorcist. I don't know if he needs a witch doctor. I don't know if he needs a sports psychologist. But something needs to click for him, because number 3 on offense has the most talent in that wide receiver core. You just got to focus and catch the football.
Moving over to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive showed up on third down this week. 2 for 16 for Duke on third down efficiency. We saw a lot of different approaches from the defense. We actually saw him play more man. We saw him actually adjust to what Duke was calling on the play call. Even though we knew it was going to be more of a ground attack for Duke, they were able to stop the run. I believe I heard a stat earlier today that there's 4 teams in football, in college football right now, that haven't allowed an average of more than 300 yards for their opponents, and Miami's defense is one of them. Is this a fluke stat, or is this something that has actually been improving for Miami's defense game to game?
Oh, that's such a hard question to answer, because I think David Cutcliffe abandoned the run and he didn't need to. I think Nebraska is an anomaly, because I think they do that to everybody. They run on everyone, so it's hard for you to say that they cannot be stopped. I mean, they go into Michigan State this weekend, and we'll see how they do. But I think Nebraska's an anomaly. I think Al Golden plays extremely well against Georgia Tech and option offenses. He's 8-1 in his career against option offenses. I don't see any problems this weekend. I think the Canes put up a lot of points. If they don't leave them in the red zone, I think the Canes put up a lot of points, and I think there's potential for a blowout in Atlanta.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, give me your little preview for Georgia Tech, but you got it right there from Steven. There was a tweet that you sent me earlier today that that Coach Johnson was asked, what are they gonna do with Miami, and he pretty much said, look, their game plan is to run the ball down the throats of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna see? Are we gonna? Al Golden, with the stat, what is it? Al Golden's 4-0 against Georgia Tech, and D'Onofrio's 8-1 against Georgia Tech. So the numbers are in Miami's favor. Is the option going to be something that Miami's going to have to worry about this week?
They got to worry about staying on their feet. Georgia Tech wants the cut block. We all know that. Miami uses medicine balls to simulate blockers at your feet. During practice this week, they'll work on that like they always do when they face Georgia Tech. They've given up a lot of yards when they play Georgia Tech. There's always one or two gash plays. I would like to see the linebackers attack the line of scrimmage more. Denzel Perryman doesn't have double-digit tackles. I think Miami's in for a long day. I think it's one of those things where you really have to attack downhill on this option offense, and I think it's one of those situations that would dictate the Canes just coming downhill, and you hit everybody in the option. You hit everything that moves. That's how you stop it. That's how you get backwards pitches and fumbles and forced turnovers. I think you have to live in the backfield against this option. So I think you'll see a lot of crowding 8-9 in the box versus Georgia Tech, and if they try to throw, I think you're going to put your best corner out there, which right now looks like Cornelder, by the way. Tennessee native, 2-9 is doing the damn thing out there. The Tennessee native, he's got the best feet on the team. So I think you'll see him line up against Georgia Tech's best wide receiver.
All right, Steven Posada here on the Frank Fernandez Show. You know what, man? I'm going to give you a little reward because you come on here every week and you give me great information, and you brought up something on the way over here. So I'm going to give you 3.5 minutes. I'm going long for you. So I'm going to give you 3.5 minutes, and you're going to explain to me and go on the rant that you wanted to go on because you wanted to clear your mind. Why is the renovations at Dolphin Stadium better for the Dolphins and not for the Canes? Ready? Go.
The Dolphins aren't going to move from Miami, and the stadium was built for them in mind with the Orange Bowl already existing in 1987. Also, I think for the Canes, a move closer to campus has nothing to do with the students or the university community. I think it has to do with getting back to its roots of a county-owned stadium that kind of belongs to everybody, a stadium that can be rented by, say, high schools, which Sun Life is now. I understand that, but another stadium that is more centrally located to the university would be something where it's easier to get to for the fans that live in Miami. And as far as the university community, no matter where your school is located, you want your field to be as close to your school as possible. And almost being in another county just doesn't quite do it. So, yes, I do think no matter what happens with this renovation, I do still think they need their own stadium. You guys could chime in too, by the way.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I would love Miami to have their own stadium. I don't like the atmosphere that holds at Sun Life. Like, it doesn't feel like it's a football stadium. And I've always said it, not just for the Canes, but one of the main reasons why I never went to go watch a game over there was because of the lack of atmosphere that you had at Dolphin Stadium. I used to be a season ticket holder for both teams, Dolphins and Canes. I couldn't deal with the Dolphins being mediocre every single year and me paying money for it. On top of it all, the games just weren't as fun as going to Canes games. I'm hoping that by them doing all these renovations, because before yesterday, I thought they were only going to just add a couple seats down. No, you kind of made it aware to me that they're going to knock out the whole club level and everything. So it's going to be kind of like having a new building there. I'm interested to see the way the atmosphere picks up there. If the atmosphere can pick up there, I think it would help UM at the end of the day. At the end of the day, though, I do think Miami deserves and needs their own stadium. A lot of the help of recruiting, you would thank the Orange Bowl for it, especially with the whole smoke, and you can sell the history of the stadium. This is the Orange Bowl. This place gets packed Saturdays. This is our field. This is where we play ball. You can't sell that with Sun Life right now. The only thing that you can sell that with Sun Life right now is to say national championship games are played here, Super Bowls are played here. But the atmosphere in national championship games or Super Bowls aren't the same atmosphere that you get on a normal Saturday. And when you invite a recruit to watch a football game on a Saturday, a normal Saturday against FAMU or against Arkansas State or Cincinnati or Duke, the atmosphere sucks. The only way that you can duplicate that atmosphere is watching FSU or last year when we saw Florida here.
I think it's one of those things where you're a Cubs fan. I think building a stadium into into a neighborhood is one of the most important things you could do.
If you know how to manage it correctly, hold on. If you know how to manage it correctly, because the Marlins right now have their stadium in the middle of a community and they haven't managed it correctly. You need to open areas outside the ballpark to have the fans come in early to make the ballpark coming early an actual experience instead of them just coming and watching a game. When you tailgate, when you hang out at a bar or at a restaurant or at a location before a game and you kind of soak in all the atmosphere, it changes the game for you, because now you go into the game and you have a second level of fun. So there's something else to look forward to other than just hanging out and partying outside the stadium. The Marlins haven't been able to duplicate that. There's a bar that's down the street that there's drink specials that are better when there's not games going on than when there's actual games. If I was managing the Marlins, I would take a walk over to that place and say, listen, we need to work something out that you could attract people over here, because at the end of the day, that's going to bring more fans to the ballpark.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a revitalization project with whatever building, if there was one. Let's just talk about a hypothetical one. There needs to be bars and things of that nature to entice you to come out to a game to tailgate, because if you're just going to an empty parking lot like you do now at Sun Life, you're pulling into a place as a team, and I've done this as an employee of a team. Different structures of different stadiums give you different vibes as you pull in the park. A sterile parking lot of an NFL stadium is not the same as going into Tallahassee and parking your bus.
And then walking down the streets, and you actually take in the whole town atmosphere like we did last year. That it was scary, but absolutely fun.
Yeah, and we all did it.
Especially hanging out with T-Dog when he started those crazy chants, because you know he don't hold his mouth.
Yeah, that was just nuts. I'm still thinking about the girl with the pigtails that was messing with you.
I don't hold my mouth neither. You know that very well. I cannot hold my mouth. Their colors are not garnet and gold. They're burgundy, damn it. And burgundy wasn't in the original crayon box. I didn't make it up. Those are the facts.
I'm with you on that one. But yeah, there is no, when you pull into a sterile parking lot as a team with cops everywhere and they stop you from doing the vile things that you would do as a team pulls up. Listen, let's not be PC about this. Being a fan is being about all those things. I'm not the PC police. That's not our job as fans and alums. Our job is to intimidate. That building, as sterile as it is, and don't tell me about teams not winning, because the stadium is sterile regardless. When you pull into a building and all you see is cops, and you're politely escorted everywhere, and you can avoid all the fans, and you can pull in and zoom by every fan because of the way the stadium is set up, they're not experiencing anything. They're just pulling into a parking lot. Part of the thing that robs you in Sun Life is that you're lacking atmosphere of neighborhood and just situation, because you're going to an area where all there is a stadium. So you're pulling into a very sterile environment as you pull up to that building.
Amen, brother. Dude, we went way long with you. Like I'm at the 30 and I'm still telling you to run deep for the 70-yard bomb. That's how long we ran on that one. We're going to let you go, man. I thank you, like always, for joining us here on the show. We will talk to you next week. Man. We will both be the only ones in town watching this game, so I'm sure we'll be talking to each other. Look, David will be here, too. David will be here, too. But, hey, Steven, thanks a lot, man. We'll talk to you next week.
No worries, man.
Like always, Steven Posada here on the Frank Fernandez Show. We went way long, so I'm going to take a very short break. We'll be back on SoFloRadio.com.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.
Hey, South Florida. Frank Fernandez here from the Frank Fernandez Show, and I'm here to tell you about the Last Carrot in Coconut Grove. Now, I've been able to eat whatever I want all my life, and I've never had any consequences to think about. But now as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see the effects and the importance in having healthy foods. Well, the Last Carrot is the place to go for a healthy treat. They have a full smoothie bar with fruits which are cut right in front of your eyes. And have I said delicious? Man, I picked up a mango banana smoothie the other day, which was not only delicious, but refreshing with a boost of natural energy. The Last Carrot also offers a variety of fresh veggie sandwiches on whole wheat pitas, fresh salads, and spinach pies. The best part of it all, it's in the heart of the Grove. So after you have your meal, you can take a nice stroll and enjoy the shops of historic Coconut Grove. So come on down to the Last Carrot and don't forget to tell them Frank Fernandez sent you so you can receive that SoFlo Radio discount and have some good, healthy eating. The Last Carrot is located on 3133 Grand Avenue in Coconut Grove, Florida, 33133.
most important online
See?
radio station.
It's easier than ever to listen to SoFlo. On the air and everywhere. On any computer, any mobile device, iPhone, iTouch, and anywhere you are, just hit SoFloRadio.com. Tell your friends about South Florida's radio network, SoFloRadio.com.
Now, back to the Frank Fernandez Show.
Guys, we didn't come here for no reason. I said, guys, this is ours, man.
On SoFloRadio.com.
Those men looked me in my eye and they said, we got this, Jameis. And I said, are you strong? They said, I'm strong if you strong. And I said, we strong then.
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Hump day!
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, jump up, touch the ceiling.
Frank Fernandez Show live here on SoFloRadio.com. Again, with my buttons pushing. So there was one person online watching us act the fool. If you want to watch, go back on YouTube later and watch the show tape. You'll watch me and David just jam out as soon as this song rocks out. Bro, no, I've said this before. No matter in what mood you're in, this is the song that puts you in a good mood.
It's the
It's
the party starter. Like, have a crap day at work. You know you're going out later that night. You need that one song to put you in the party mood. I think this is the all-time winner.
Final 10 minutes here of the show. David go acting a fool again. I don't even want to shut the song off, bro. Bro, this has been a fun show, man. We've had callers, Kane's Talk, gone late. The show's been on Cuban time all show. You do realize this, right?
You're Cuban,
Bro, little by little, I'm going to convert you into a Cuban. You do know this, right? I mean, you've been hanging out with me now for about, what, 12 years?
No, I'm 13,
14 years you've been hanging out with me.
I'm mostly on time for everything.
You are, but little by little, I even got you saying dale. You hung up on the
Dale.
phone the other day with me, and you're like, dale. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. White boy, what are you doing, dude? And dale. Now you just throw the dale at me. I like that. I'm converting you little by little, man.
You know.
Ah.
To absorb some of the culture.
So let's unwind a little bit. We've talked Canes, we've talked baseball. We can talk some crap a little bit. Now that all the crazy stories in the NFL are gone, we can actually kind of talk some little bit of the games.
The actual sport.
How crazy is that? Like, Tom Brady's like deteriorating like right in front of our eyes, man. Like, you can really tell like he's getting old quick.
I see, and I'm gonna always argue that up until the day he absolutely retires, because I still think he needs weapons on that team. I think his offensive line, especially watching it Monday night, was just garbage.
He's won Super Bowls without weapons though. Like that,
He's
like
won
Levitard's
with
right, bro.
less,
Look,
but his
Brady has
offensive
that reputation with the media that when he wins it all, it's all Brady. Oh, he had no help. It's all Brady. And when he doesn't win, Brady doesn't have enough help. So that's kind of what you're throwing at me right now.
Oh no! When he did win his Super Bowl, he did win with nobody wide receivers. I'm more or less talking about his offensive line. They just look like garbage.
Absolutely,
they almost look as bad as the Dolphins.
Well, everybody's blitzing Brady. The way to get to Brady was like giving him pressure, and the offensive line have just not been able to hold Brady up. Yeah. Brady hasn't looked good in any of the 4 games. They have 2 wins. One was against Oakland, which wasn't very convincing, and the other one was against Minnesota when the whole Adrian Peterson child hitting thing went down.
That other story.
Yeah. The story that we really don't want to talk about.
But you know what? Think about it. It could be the one bad year that he's really had in his career. Like, honestly, his worst season of his career. Out of how many?
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta start blaming that on age just a little bit. Like, he's also the worst. He's the least accurate deep passing quarterback in the league.
Well, right now he is, but I mean, again, he has nobody to catch the ball. I mean, if he gets it out there
again with those excuses.
No, but I mean, think about it. If you have a decent wide receiver, the deep ball is all about the receiver catching the ball.
He's got fast receivers. That guy Tompkins is fast, or Thompson, whatever his name is, something.
No, you have to really look at Belichick right now. I mean, is he looking towards the future right now?
Tom something.
Tom.
Well, he's got a good backup quarterback, and that's the other thing. Brady actually got benched for once. So is Garoppolo the backup plan for Belichick?
I hope not.
That's the thing. Like, do you have to? Are they gonna have to hold on to Brady the way the Yankees held on to Jeter? Like, do you owe that to Brady? I just made a Brady and Jeter like.
No, because I think NFL is a lot more cutthroat because seasons change in a matter of months. You know, look at the Rams.
It's gonna be interesting, man, because there's a lot of fans out there in Boston right now that are saying, "Stop trashing Brady. Stop trashing Brady." It was Tompkins. I was right the first time. Stop trashing Brady. You know. Okay, but, eventually you're going to have to step back and realize this guy's getting old. He's losing his touch. He's losing his game. Manning doesn't throw the ball deep anymore. Look at when Manning throws the ball deep. All he throws are ducks. Like, the balls might as well grow wings and just kind of try to find the receiver.
But again, look who he's throwing to, Demaryius Thomas, who is a gifted athlete out the yin.
But no, Brady is throwing the ball short. He's nickel and diming you all the way down the field.
Okay, but again, he's having one bad season.
Okay, that's cool.
One bad season.
Okay, no problem.
In AFC, he's probably still going to make the playoffs.
I'm going to move on, and I'm going to give you a story that I told you on the break that I wanted to get your genuine reaction to it. So did you hear about this guy that posted an ad on Craigslist? He has 2 tickets to the Nationals' first game of the playoffs, and he can't make the game. Prime seats, great seats, and he posted them on Craigslist. But instead of posting them on Craigslist for a dollar amount, he posted them on Craigslist. You ready for this? For the exchange of having a threesome.
Awesome.
Okay? Yeah, genius. So this guy put exactly. Ivan has the
hump
Guess what today is?
Yeah, exactly. He had the right idea to that one. Hump day. So anyway, so this guy has posted it on Craigslist. He's requiring that whoever buys the tickets or whoever inquires about the tickets offers about 2 or 3 pictures of themselves. He has to be 2 girls. He doesn't want no guys calling him. It has to be 2 girls, and he just wants a threesome. No strings attached. Just wants to have the pure fun because he's always wanted the threesome fantasy. I clap my hands to him too. But now start thinking outside of the box. Hold on. Let's think outside of the box. This is prostitution, bro. Dude, this is prostitution.
No, this is bartering.
What's bartering? I got to look up bartering.
Bartering is the exchanging of gifts or services.
Damn, David's a human dictionary. Exchange of goods or services for other goods or services without using money. Oh, David found the loophole. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna get in trouble. No.
Service.
Oh my God.
With a smile.
Hold on. Have you had this idea go through your head before?
No. I mean, that's ingenious, though. I am going to next Marlins World Series. Set in stone.
Next Martins World Series, you're going to be an 80-year-old man, and you're going to need Viagra to get it up. Like, for real, man? Like, really? Like, you couldn't pick anything else to say the next time this happens, though you had to say
no.
when
Honestly,
the Marlins won the World Series or went to the World Series.
What was I going to say?
You tell me. I don't know what you were going to think.
Dolphins went to the Super Bowl?
You'll also be 80.
No, I'll be, passed on.
So then what are you going to... You can't do nothing with that. Yo, dude, David, you're like... Bro, you're like an attorney, bro. Like a paralegal, bro. Like a walking paralegal. You are my new best friend. You are my best friend. But you are my newest, bestest friend. You do know this, right? This dude, I throw out soliciting of prostitution, and he throws back in my face, nah, it's bartering. You know this is going to be a sound clip. I'm going to have to use this as a sound clip. Yeah, I'm going to have to use this. I'm going to have to use this. Oh, my God. But, yeah, so we don't know if it's going to work. So I guess it's going to see if it works before other people are going to do it, because if it works, then you're going to say, okay, everybody's going to go ahead and do it, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. Eventually everyone's going to start doing it, and it's going to lose its cool factor.
It is going to lose its cool factor a little bit.
The originality factor is probably gone by next year because you'll see another dozen posts in every city.
It'd
Front
be cool,
row
though.
for...
It'd be cool, though.
Fill in the blank.
I'd say it's pretty cool, though. All right, so it looks like we're going to have to start wrapping up the show here.
That's awesome, though, if you really think about that.
It is awesome. So I'm going to thank everybody for calling the show today. Laz, Lewis, Steven Posada, like always, hooking us up with a good 20 minutes of Canes talk. As I say my goodbyes today, I'm going to make sure that the Cane fam receives this message. Ivan, you're going to your first away game. I'm sad to say that I can't go this time. I've been to a few. They're a lot of fun. Be safe, bro. You're going into territory that you're not familiar with. I understand you're Canes, and we're Canes, bro. We got balls bigger than everybody else. It is what it is, bro, but have a good time. Remember, you get in trouble in Georgia. When you go resolve that issue, you got to go back to Georgia. Just remember that one. Everybody in Canes, fam, have a great time. I'm going to come back next week with another powerful show. This show was strong, man.
Just don't speed in Georgia.
No, I won't. And don't speed in Georgia. Those cops are assholes.
Don't.
Oh, my God.
The moment you see that state line, bring it back.
David, bro, thanks a lot once again, man. Till next week. We'll talk to you next week. We don't wave. We don't clap. We throw up the U. Good night, Canes fam. Good night, South Florida.
Hump day. Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-woo! Hump day.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.